Hey YouTube, it's Joe's two-car garage. We're looking at the 2003 Chevy Silverado 5.3 liter V8 that I purchased to LSX this Firebird. Well, I was going to LSX something. This Firebird's the lucky recipient. You know about the door. The door is on. Looks to be alright. I'm happy with it. This week we've been working on the motor a little, finally. Yay! Yay for motor work. Managed to get the old gooseneck out of the water pump, because that was an issue here. Manifold's actually in position right now. I don't have bolts for it. I got to get the bolts. So the plan for this is going to be to weld this hole up. I'm going to drop a 1/4 inch plate in there, weld that up, and then we're going to open this up and either tap and thread a fitting in there for the radiator hose to attach to, or I'm just going to grind it open and have one welded on, one or the other. So anyway, the company that made the brackets that I found on eBay is called ICT Billet, and they're very reasonably priced. This is the alternator. Get a front shot of the whole motor here. Now, this kit relocates the alternator from this location down here to the right of the crankshaft up into the upper left where this tensioner used to be. And the only thing that I don't care for about that is I'm going to have to reclock this alternator so that the output is over here in this location, in this space, because it's interfering with the oil fill. It's not touching, but it is damn close. I know this is plastic, but I can't get the wire on, so it doesn't me no good there. So I'm going to have to pull this back off and reclock it once we figure out if it's going to work or not, if the motor is going to go in the car correctly. This is the 6-cylinder power steering pump, and it actually, with this bracket system, sticks out 3/8 of an inch too far. So I can't use it. I have the right one from the truck coming Friday. I also have the air conditioning compressor, and that goes down here. Has its own belt and its own tensioner, which I need to do something with. And I'm picking that up on Friday also. I managed to get all of both sides of the exhaust off of the heads and didn't break a bolt, which to me was like a birthday present, because I always break bolts when I do those, but this one came out, all of them came out in one piece. So that was a bonus. So the plan for the rest of the week, this weekend, hopefully I'm going to get some bolts in the manifold and just get it in place so it won't fall off when I rotate the motor over, because I'm going to spin it over so that I can put the engine mounts on. And I'm also going to put the F-body oil pan and all the innards in. The pickup tube and the windage tray. I have all that stuff in the house waiting. So that's going to go on the bottom. I'm going to pull off the rest of these hoses and the rest of the, useless stuff from the truck that I'm not going to use. I do have an issue with the fuel pickup. It's not a huge one, but I'll show you anyway, just in case somebody else comes across this. And here's my plan to fix it anyway. Coils on the truck run right into the fuel line, the fuel feed. So my plan is to just cut this bracket. I'm just going to nip this bracket right here with my grinder, push this back so that it comes out back here. Then I can plug in my coil, and I'll be able to plug in my fuel line, and that should get me out of that. And if I really have to, I can actually make an extension for this and weld the two back together. I'm sorry, make an extension for this bracket that I'm cutting and weld the two back together. I don't want to get carried away because it'll interfere with the fuel injectors. Boy, I'm having some tongue problems today. It's tongue-tied day. So once we get that situation under construction and get those parts put on, I'm hopefully going to get the cherry picker back, get it back down off of here, off of the engine stand, get it on the floor on a dolly, and then bolt it up to the transmission. I got to look at, while it's down, I have to look at that and see which torque converter to use. That is an F-body torque converter right there on the floor that I saved from the blue car that I pulled the drivetrain out for my purple car, from my 94 Z28. So I have that. That is a 4L60E out of a 97 Chevy pickup. I have to change the tail shaft on it. Golly, got one right there. That's going to get bolted to the motor. Lines are up there, salvaged off the 6-cylinder car, so that should work. Once I get them all mated up, we're going to shove them into the car. We're going to jack them up into place and bolt the cross member up and get the tail shaft of the trans up in place and hung. And I'm going to lower it back down so that I can work on the front and get to the radiator. And then we're going to find out where the problems are going to start. That's where the issue with clearance is, and that's, I'm pretty sure, why your F-bodies have their own accessory package on the front that moves them back. Now, on my Camaro, it just looks like it's 3/4 of an inch further forward, and it looks like I have plenty of room. So we're going to find out the hard way one way or another. I may have to resection that lower radiator support and move it forward to put more angle in it. Don't really want to do any cutting on this car because it's in really nice shape. So we're going to have to wait and find out what exactly the problem is going to be, and then we'll find out how to deal with it after that. I may have to go with maybe a shorter radiator and push it into the core support. There's a couple different ways that I've been thinking about dealing with it, but for right now we're just going to go with my gut, and I think it'll fit. I don't think it'll be pretty, but I think it'll fit. So anyway, YouTube, that's where we're at, and some of the things that I've been looking at. If anybody has any information on this swap or anything at all that they think that could help, drop me a line. All right, YouTube, we'll talk to you soon.